It was just 8 days ago where no one had been hired when we talked about the openings. Actually, the first domino fell 5 days ago with Urban Meyer going to the Jaguars. Now 4 are officially filled. Although I still haven't seen a statement from the Jets on Robert Saleh, although he's the guy. We're expecting Dan Campbell to be the head coach of the Lions. But there are 2 vacancies that we continue to monitor, the Eagles and the Texans. And let me reiterate my position. If I had options, I would opt to wait until next year because I don't want either of those jobs right now for different reasons, but also similar reasons. I don't think the deck is stacked in your favor in either of those cities.
We saw Brian Daboll get out of that conversation yesterday. I don't know how seriously he was being considered for either one, but he obviously made the choice. You know, a lot of the times, Mike, as you and I, we've discussed a lot over the years, you only sometimes get one shot at this thing. So you get you go somewhere, and if it's dysfunctional and you realize, whoa, there's a lot of issues here. Do I want to deal with this, get fired 2 years from now, and then never get a head coaching job opportunity ever again in my life? That's what you have to balance here. And I think Daboll was probably looking at it going, whoa, like you said, there's issues there. I'm in a pretty good spot with a superstar quarterback and an awesome offense, and he's going to play the chance of something else better will come about next year.
The term dysfunction means deviation from the norms of social behavior in a way regarded as bad. You can fairly say that both organizations right now looking for coaches are dysfunctional. The mere fact that Doug Peterson got fired 3 years after winning a Super Bowl shows that there was clearly dysfunction. Whether or not the dysfunction lingers, who knows? In Houston, it's dysfunction on parade. So Daboll made the right call, reportedly staying put in Buffalo for another year. He'll be on the A-list next year as long as Josh Allen's around, right? If they had a different quarterback, all of a sudden Daboll wouldn't be a very good coach. When you have Josh Allen, all of a sudden you're a pretty damn good coach.
Well, and it makes you feel better about taking these chances, too. You just go, okay, I can take a chance here. I think my guy's going to be towards the top of the football again as quarterback's concerned, and that gives him a little leeway to do that.
Your guy, Josh McDaniels, is being identified as a prime candidate. And look, I'm going to be very leery of top candidate, prime candidate, favorite, whatever, because ESPN told me that Brian Daboll was the favorite to get the Chargers job, and he never was. It was always Brandon Staley. It was all, I mean,
the Chargers have become masters.
The Chargers are the cone of silence. There's a benefit to being the team nobody cares about, I guess. But it was always Brandon Staley for them. And is it now Josh McDaniels for Philadelphia? Chris, after saying no and no and no and passing on this option and that opportunity and this chance, why in the hell, frankly, all due respect, does he want to go coach the Eagles?
Well, his story's a little different. And I think he's probably looking at it going, wait, I don't have Josh Allen with me. I don't know where my offense will go next year. Am I guaranteed that I'm going to be – we saw the sizzle or the talk around Josh McDaniels was far less this year than it's been in the previous 3 or 4 years, right, Mike? So I think within that, he's in a different situation than Brian Daboll. And he's a guy that's already had, a head coaching job. And, yes, it was a failure. It didn't work out right. There was a lot of issues there, and we can discuss that. It wasn't all just Josh McDaniels. But I think he's got to look at it and go – wait, I don't know if I'm going to get another chance. I might have to take this. And honestly, I think, in a lot of ways, for Josh McDaniels and the Eagles, I think it would be the perfect fit. Josh is a guy you want to build with and build around. He is, again, I don't say he's a GM, right? But he's got a lot of experience in that. He did do a lot of that stuff in Denver, and I think at the very least, he understands the team-building aspect and what to do to where he can conversate with a Howie Roseman and go, listen, we're going to try to build this type of offense, and I need these type of players, and blah, blah, blah in the defense, and go through it that way to where I do think Josh McDaniels is a great fit for this role right here. I think he's made to kind of rebuild a team and be that way, but you have to be patient and let the New England way kind of filter out and play the long play here where it might take 2 or 3 years before he turns the team around.
Job number one, Carson Wentz has to be on board with whatever they do. They've empowered him at this point
Seems like it,
picking him over Doug Peterson, which at its core, it feels like that's what they did. They want to see the return on their investment. They want to see that last year was an aberration. We've talked about this before. Ben Roethlisberger in his 3rd season was not good. Peyton Manning in his 4th season was not good. It turned around. What did it take in Indianapolis? Jim Mora the Elder out, Tony Dungy in. That's what turned Peyton Manning around. So, you're picking the franchise quarterback over the structure that's in place to use him. If that structure, for whatever reason, doesn't believe in him anymore, you find somebody who does. And Josh McDaniels need not even engage in the conversation with the Eagles unless he believes in Carson Wentz. I also heard yesterday, because McDaniels ran the show in Denver.
Yeah.
Howie Roseman has a major seat at the table in Philly. Right. How do these two coexist? My understanding is Roseman is fine with it. It's just a matter of talking the owner, Jeffrey Lurie, into it. And there's still this lingering what the hell happened in Indianapolis that is hovering over Josh McDaniels. And I'll say this to Jeffrey Lurie, if you're watching. Good morning, Jeffrey, if you are. Chances. I'll bet the under on that one. But anybody out there who's thinking about hiring Josh McDaniels, I'll just tell you to do this. Because you surely have the resources. You've got the time. You've got the expertise at your disposal. Find your way all the way to the bottom of the rabbit hole on what happened in Indianapolis, and then decide what you want to do with Josh McDaniels. Isn't that fair? Fair?
No, it's fair.
It's not an easy story. I don't want to get into the story. I know bits and pieces of it, but if you're a billionaire who's thinking about hiring the guy, you should be able to get to the bottom of it. It shouldn't be that difficult. And then you can make your decision on whether or not he's somebody you want to do business with, period.
Well, yeah, listen, the Colts thing, it's not a good look for Josh, certainly. We know that. Yeah, we've scrutinized it. Everybody has. Again, I don't think this is a thing where Josh McDaniels was intending to screw over the Colts or went into it thinking he was going to do that. I think that in the long play, from what I know and to sum it up, I think it's a guy that has a love affair for the New England Patriots and thought maybe he could be the next guy after Bill Belichick. And also with that has a big family and maybe wasn't quite sure if he wanted to make that move and do that type of thing. And I think Bill probably sold him on opening the vault and going, hey, I'm going to really let you be my right-hand man and doing those type of things. And that's where I think it kind of went wrong there, but it's certainly not a good look for him, and it hasn't helped his cause. That's for sure. But I do think this could be a good opportunity. And yes, that point you bring with Howie Roseman is a big one. Can they coexist? Can they build something together and be on the same page?
Every time I hear the reference to Bill opening the vault when McDaniels returned after spurning the Colts,
right,
I remember that there was a Sports Illustrated article before he got hired by the Broncos saying the same damn thing. So I don't know how much of it.
The vault never gets open with these guys.
Right.
Never.
Bill's never opening the vault. Maybe not even for his sons, frankly. But I think that things have changed in New England, and there, people thought, he's clearly the successor to Bill Belichick when he stayed 3 years ago. Well, Bill Belichick's showing no indication he's going to walk away anytime soon, and I think that notion that Bill Belichick gets to coach the Patriots into his 80s if he wants to, and I don't know what the over-under is on when the fans turn, but 3-4 years, I think 3.5 years of not getting to the playoffs and just kind of being blah, that's, they're going to have to find an answer at quarterback or I don't care how many Super Bowls you've won, the fans are going to demand something better if you can't go out there and find somebody who's going to perform better at the quarterback position. And the challenge would be exacerbated for the Patriots if they'd lose Josh McDaniels to the Eagles if he ends up getting the job.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.